BTS News. The world is in uproar. The latest news from two of the most striking members in the BTS global group, Jimin and Jungkook, appeared like lightning in broad daylight. What is hidden behind their smiles? Does their closeness, which is often considered just friendship, have a much deeper meaning? Or could it be that there is something that cannot be expressed openly, a forbidden love that only their hearts can understand? This news comes after the last few days appeared various clues that make the army around the world feel restless and curious. Footage captured on camera at a private military event showed an unusual moment between Jimin and Jungkook. In a video that quickly went viral in the army community, it appears that the two met secretly in a back room of the headquarters. No words, just deep gazes and hugs that lasted more than a minute. The world stopped. What is the meaning of all this? In a world as open and full of highlights as BTS's, it's not easy to hide emotions. But Jimin and Jungkook have long been figures who display extraordinary closeness. Many refer to their relationship as a bromance, a strong bond of best friends since adolescence. But lately, the aura between them seemed to change. Deeper, more emotional, more secret. Their journey began since their debut, when both were hopeful teenagers who left their hometown to join Big Hit. They grew up together, sharing dreams and suffering. But what makes their relationship different is the way they see each other, as if the other world means nothing as long as they find each other. Behind the camera, many of the crew have hinted that Jimin and Jungkook have a unique way of communicating. One small gesture, one glance, is enough to understand the intentions of the partner. Is it just a bond of friendship? Or is there a bigger secret than we ever imagined? A loyal army following the digital trail of the two begins to gather clues. On Jimin's Weverse Live a few weeks before enlisting in the military, he had mentioned someone who never stops encouraging, even when I'm tired of myself. Despite not mentioning names, the way Jimin lowered his head and smiled as he delivered the sentence made many people feel it was addressed to Jungkook. Not long ago, Jungkook uploaded a cover song that was so heartbreaking, the lyrics seemed to scream longing and pent-up longing. Even if the world can't see us, I'll wait for you in the silence of time, was the most quoted line of the song, bringing thousands of soldiers to tears and beginning to speculate. Is this unspoken love? Among fans, the term jimqin has long been known. The name is to describe the dynamic of Jimin and Jungkook that always seemed intense. However, other BTS members also often give clues that add curiosity. In a previous interview, Taeyong said, "Some love doesn't have to be announced to the world to be real." The sentence is now seen as a form of tacit support for two colleagues. But life as a global superstar does not provide an easy space for this kind of love, especially if the love deviates from the norms that are commonly embraced by society at large. Fans who noticed their emotional closeness began to divide. There were those who fully supported, calling that love is love, and there is no need for gender or status restrictions. But others feel it could be a big deal if it's actually revealed to the public. What makes things even more complicated is the fact that since the beginning of this year, the conscription schedule has made all BTS members have to part ways. But surprisingly, Jimin and Jungkook were seen in the same place several times. Although the military has a tight schedule, the two seem to have a way to still see each other. There is even a source from inside who said that both asked for military units that were not too far apart, on the grounds of solidarity. Is this part of the strategy to stay close? A few days ago, a blurry photo emerged of a security guard accidentally sharing the moment Jungkook stood alone in the middle of the night, staring at the sky and clutching a small pendant. Shortly after, Jimin is seen wearing a similar pendant as he gets out of a military car. Is this a sign of the love they share secretly? Many believe so. No less surprising was Jungkook's reaction when Jimin was not present at one of the joint trainings. In a short video that was leaked to the internet, Jungkook looks moody, refuses to eat, and just sits quietly in a corner of the room for hours. The officers who attended said that he had said quietly, "I want him here." Then silent, quiet. A wound that cannot be covered. Is this forbidden love? Or is it just a true bond that they have not been able to admit because of the unfriendly world situation? Many people ask, is this just an exaggerated public perception? But who can deny that love, in any form, has the power to heal and destroy all at once? Some fans began writing open letters to their agencies, asking Big Hit to make room for the members to live authentically. We love them because they are honest. Don't force them to live in falsehood," wrote an army officer from Brazil. Meanwhile, South Korea's army held an online forum discussing the possibility of Jimin and Jungkook getting spiritually married, a concept where two souls unite without the need for legal recognition. On the other hand, some conservative media began to report this news with a different point of view. They judged that too close a relationship could create a disturbance in BTS's image. But army reactions around the world silenced the narrative. They affirmed that BTS is more than just an image. They are human beings who have a right to love. The most touching was the recent moment when Jimin appeared on the screens of the military in a motivational session, and a soldier asked, "What do you miss most at the moment?" Jimin looked at the camera for a few seconds, then briefly replied, "The one who always makes me want to stay." No need to name names. Everybody knows what that means. Jungkook, in a handwritten letter distributed to fans, wrote, "There is someone who is my reason to keep going. When we get back, I want her to know that I never turned my back, even when the whole world turned its back on me." The sentence is heartbreaking, sincere, inside, and full of love. Will their love last until the end of the war? Will both have the courage to reveal the truth to the world? Or will they choose to keep everything hidden for the sake of each other's peace? In a world that often rejects the courage to be yourself, the story of Jimin and Jungkook is a reminder that true love cannot be silenced. The world may not be ready, but their hearts are. Now the army can only wait, hold out hope, and continue to believe that whatever they are hiding, it is not a disgrace, but something too precious to be used for cruel public consumption. And maybe, someday, when the world becomes a softer place, they will stand side by side, without secrets, without fear, only love speaks. As these rumors began to heat up, the other members began to be dragged into a whirlpool of speculation. Although they have not yet given an official statement, their gestures and remarks in the past are now being reviewed by fans. RM, the leader who is known to be wise and thoughtful, once said in one of his overseas radio interviews, "I will never judge someone's love, especially when that love is their greatest source of strength." The remarks are now interpreted as a subtle form of protection against Jimin and Jungkook. Suga, who is known for his calmness and emotional sharpness, also once said in the documentary Break the Silence that, "When two people in this group understand each other without talking, it's no coincidence. That's because they went through something more than just a casual friendship." The phrase came up again and became the subject of intense discussion among the army, who felt that the members had been giving instructions secretly.